Summer is officially or unofficially coming to an end, but beach getaways are still their #1 topic of vacations for Americans who are seeking, of course, things to do in the fall, too. Here to give us tips and to give us some fall escape ideas is Travel Zoo senior editor Gabe Saglie. Good morning, Gabe. How are you?
Hey, Brad. Well, what do you think? A great place to be out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina today?
Yeah, I love this. I don't think I've ever seen the Ferris wheel up there before. This is beautiful.
It is, in fact, it's the Sky Wheel, 200 feet tall, and those 42 gondolas are air conditioned, which is kind of a nice little perk. But yeah, that'll give you some great views of the coastline out here for sure.
I like it. Well, we've been getting hot here in Phoenix and on the West Coast and everything, and we know that people love heading to the beach. So let's talk about beach destinations that are pretty much the hot thing right now.
Yeah, listen, we've been tracking it all year long, and as you would imagine, spring and summer beach getaways were hot. But even for the fall, 56% of Americans saying that if they're going to do a getaway, they want to escape to a beach. I think beaches have always had an allure, but after the pandemic, even more so, just because you're thinking wide open spaces, plenty of elbow room between you and the traveler next to you, and of course, fantastic, beach getaways up and down both coasts. Here in Myrtle Beach, it's about 80 degrees. Outside, water temperature about 80 degrees as well. That's another one, another big draw for folks coming out to this particular part of the country.
I like that. Well, okay, you mentioned Myrtle Beach there, and we're talking, of course, after Labor Day getaway. So talk to us. What do we need to know? What do we need to do?
Well, if you're coming out to Myrtle Beach, just keep in mind it's known as the golf capital of the world. Close to 100 different golf courses here, more than 2,000 restaurants. You love seafood, this is the place to be. But here's generally the idea about fall getaways if you're going to the beach. Number one, demand does drop off, right? So kids are back at school. A lot of us are being told to get back to the office. And so we're going to see just softer demand generally after Labor Day. Demand on weekends will be big. So if you want to head out to a beach escape, look at weekday getaways for bigger bang for your buck, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stays will generally be 30–40% less expensive than a weekend getaway. But yeah, that softer demand generally means that there's just greater bang for the buck up and down the coast, whether it's the East Coast or the West Coast. You do, Brad, however, want to keep tabs on what the weather outlook is, especially if you're looking at the South or the East Coast. Hurricane season is in effect through November. We are looking at a storm as we speak that's got its eye on Florida. Will affect weather here in South Carolina over the next couple of days, although Labor Day weekend itself should be sunny in 80s. But yeah, you want to stay flexible enough so that if there is a weather issue, you can postpone your trip just a little bit. But at the end of the day, still big value opportunity generally when you're looking at beach escapes in the fall.
I like that. Okay, Gabe, you're going to set me straight. Well, not set me, but I've been telling people this because I've been reading Travel Zoo, and that is the big thing people love doing is live event getaways, which goes on. So let's talk about Myrtle Beach going that way for some live events.
So, and I think, listen, live events are really a clear sign that we are continuing to, in earnest, get out of the pandemic, right? We're comfortable with going to these big events with people we may not know, and that's I think, a very positive sign. Two things are driving the live event scene here in particular. Food. So a big foodie scene here with the 2,000 restaurants, great seafood, great distilleries, etc. The big event coming up at the end of September for 4 days is the Beach and Chili Festival. And the other thing is live music. Tons of music venues here. Rock and roll and country do feature prominently. The big event of record here is coming up in June of 2024. It's a 4-day Carolina Country Music Festival, the largest event of its kind on the East Coast. Some of the biggest names in country music will be here. You throw in the beach, you throw in some seafood, you throw in the Sky Wheel, Brad. What can I say? Great place to be.
I like it. All right, as we wrap up here, give us, of course, 3 things we need to make sure we're planning the right trips to get away to the beaches.
Okay. Keep tabs on the weather. If your airline issues a waiver because of weather, take advantage of it, and then just kind of try to kick your trip down just a little bit. But weather is one thing you want to keep in mind. Number 2, as I mentioned, weekends will always be more expensive than weekdays in the fall, so stay flexible enough to travel out here Sunday through Thursday. That'll save you 30–40%. And then proximity. Sometimes the best investment is to stay right on the water, wake up to those great views in the morning, but every block you stay inland from the beach will save you about 10%. So if you're budgeting that, if you're traveling as a big group, that might make a difference there. But something to keep in mind as you plan your beach escape, Brad, over the next couple of months.
I like that. Gabe, where can we find more information?
check out, visit myrtlebeach.com for information on this beautiful area. And then on the Travel Zoo website, you've got a showcase on a whole bunch of beach destinations, including Myrtle Beach, and some great deals to get you here and to make sure you're staying here by saving and stretching your travel dollar as well.
Perfect. Gabe, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
All right, buddy. Thank you.